Alright, so our homepage posts are all set. They're coming from where they need to come from. Now we want to work on the single post page because this doesn't look very good. Alright, now what we're going to want to do is create a new file in our theme and save it as single.php. Okay, and for now, let's just copy what we have in the index file and paste that in. Alright, so there's a lot that we need to remove here. We want the header. The form, we don't want the form, so we can get rid of that. Alright, and then where we have this ink grid vertical space, I want to use this for the actual content. So we can keep this div, the panel div. That's it, really. Yeah, so everything from within the panel we can actually get rid of. Okay. Let's see. So this one ends down there. Let's get rid. You know what? Let's get rid of everything except those two divs. And of course the footer. Alright, so it looks like I'm going to need to add one more div here. Alright, so I actually didn't have to copy the index page. Now in here we're going to have a main area for the post and then a sidebar for any widgets that we have. Alright, so to do that we're going to say div class column group, which is like a row in Bootstrap. Okay, and then we're going to have a div with the class of all-70. Let's also give it a class of post. And then for the sidebar, we'll say div class all-30. Now in the all-70 div, let's start our while loop. Okay, and then we're going to end it. Okay, now in here, let's add the title. Okay, and let's just check and see if it's actually working. So if we reload the single page, there we go, we just have the title. So let's go under that. And then I'm just going to paste in the meta, okay, the metadata. So if we go through it, we have a div with the class of meta. We're saying posted on, and then we're using the time function. Then by, we have get the author meta. Okay, so that's going to get the author. No, this will get the author right here. And then this is going to give us a link to the author's archive. And then down here, we're just using get the category to get all the categories as an array. And then down here, we're looping through and we're displaying the categories. All right, so let's save that, reload, and there we go. And next, let's be sure to get the thumbnail. Actually, let's create a div. No, we'll do that after. Let's do PHP if has post thumbnail. Okay, if has thumbnail, then we're going to create a div. And then in here we'll say PHP the post thumbnail. Alright, so there's our image. Alright, so after that, let's do the content. So put a line break, and then let's say PHP the content, and then we'll do another line break, and then we'll do the comments template. And there we go. So we're going to add a little bit of styling. Let's go to Style CSS, and let's style the meta. We'll give it a dark background, white color. We'll give it padding of 5 pixels, and let's set border bottom Alright, now for the post thumbnail. Image, we're going to set the width to 100% and then the height to auto. Okay, save that. And now that looks better. So while we're here, we might as well do the sidebar as well. So let's go into functions.php, and we need to add support for widgets. So let's create a function called init widgets, and that'll take in an ID. And I'm actually going to paste this in. So we're calling register sidebar, and the name is going to be sidebar, the ID sidebar, which is all lowercase, and then before the widget we're just going to have a div. Before the title we'll have an h3. Alright, now in order for this to work, we need to have the add action. Widgets init is the hook you want to use. Save that. Now let's go back into single.php. Go into where we have this all 30. I'm going to create a class of sidebar. I'm going to paste in the dynamic sidebar function. Okay, make sure you have sidebar as the ID as well. Save it. Now if we go to our back end, you should now have widgets under your appearance. And let's bring over categories. And let's bring over archives. Okay, we'll go back, reload. Now let's add a little bit of styling here because that doesn't look too good. So we're going to go to our style sheet. And let's add our sidebar class. I'm just going to put some padding to the left. Let's say 25. And then we want the LI. So that'll be list style none. Let's give it a line height of 2.2 em, and then border bottom we'll say dotted and light gray. Okay, so that looks a little better. Actually, you know what, each one, let's give it a div of side widget. So where we have this before widget, I'm just going to add class side widget, and then we can separate them a little bit. Alright, so that's the single page. Now for the comments, we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. We're going to just create a custom comments template. And we're going to just add basically just boilerplate code that's from the documentation. If you want to get that copied, we'll spit out the comments here and then the form here. Okay, so it doesn't look that great, so we're just going to add our styling. Okay, nothing special, just kind of the same thing we've been doing. We have our comments class, the headings, the body, the meta, the reply link, and the form. And there we go. So that's a single page with comments with a sidebar. So in the next video, we're going to work on the archived pages, because if I click on one of these categories, it just takes us to a page that looks like our home page, which isn't what we want. Alright, so we'll get into that next.